Okay, we're gonna try this again. Hello everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Silver, and I am gonna be trying to do a little bit of a different approach. I have been trying to find ways to reach more people. Um, for those of you that don't know, I have a podcast, something that I like calling, that's the actual name of the podcast, the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, it's what I want to do. I want to create a safe space. I want to develop completely this podcast in a way in which, how can I say it? We are basically going to be creating a safe space for you guys, for me, for everybody who needs it. I'm gonna be trying to fix this. I'm sorry if the video is not exactly what you guys expect. I'm doing my first attempts here. This is the very first time in my life that I try to do something like this. So what I was saying is that the point of the podcast in itself, it's to give to you guys and to me a safe space, somewhere where we can actually be ourselves, express ourselves. If we have any type of big concerns, big issues, if we have trouble with something, we can talk about it. I'm not gonna say that I know everything in life because I'm in this entire trip just like you guys. And I am not precisely a wise person or anything like that, not even close. But I am 30 years old. I'm actually um, I'm actually from Guatemala. I moved to the US a few years ago. I work in the medical field. I'm a medical assistant, a certified medical assistant. I have worked doing a little bit of absolutely everything and anything that you guys can imagine. Um, in Guatemala, we have the expression that we have to become todólogos, which in Spanish, that means that we gotta learn how to do everything. Like it's a whateverologist. I guess that would be the easiest way to try to translate it. So I am gonna try to be doing this type of videos. I'm a huge gamer. I love gaming. Gaming, it's actually a huge part of my life. It helps me to release my stress and everything. And I know that many of you guys as well. So we're gonna be trying to find a little bit of an approach about that. Now, as for the way that I normally try to carry the podcast, I try to make it in a way that it's a safe space to speak. I want to hear you guys. I want to have your comments. I want you to check our Twitter. I know it's called X nowadays, but I hate calling it that way. It sounds just wrong to me. Anyhow, we are going to basically be creating a community that we're going to support each other. The reason why I decided to name it, and that's actually my main focus, as the Wolfpack, it's very simple. Wolves are apex animals, apex predators. They are incredible to track and hunt. They are amazing killing machines, guys. But they have very special types of behaviors that they can actually change the entire way that we actually see them. For example, they are extremely loyal to their pack. They try to be always together, they try to be a support for each other, they try to find ways in which they are gonna be taking care of each other, you know? The whole pack concept actually comes because they support, protect, they have their own roles, and they find ways in which they are gonna be giving the best way of the best rate of survival to each other, having always the pack in mind. How can I help? What can I do? Does anybody need anything? Is anybody calling me? Okay. But every so often there is a moment in which male wolves, well, honestly at this point I'm not gonna generalize as male wolves, any type of wolf decides to stray away from the pack. This normally happens because they got in a fight with the alpha. They got in a fight with one of the, guide guides of their own pack, and they want to create a new one because they got lost, because they were trying to hunt or something like that, and they were not able in reality to find their way home because they simply found a new prey, something bigger, something that nobody else saw, and they are trying to fight for it. So there's many ways in which um, wolves actually decide to go away, to get their own way. And the reason why I decided to create this Wolfpack and I'm inviting you to it, it's precisely that. I have been lonely and stray for very long, and it's impressive to be completely honest. Um, I hear everywhere like different theories about everything that we gotta do in our lives to be successful, everything that we have to be successful, and it's kind of complicated because I have noticed that even though everybody tries to talk about mental health and you're not alone and all that stuff, rarely you're actually gonna find somebody that it's gonna be there for you. I actually had some really bad experiences when thinking about therapy, even. Like, I attempted working with some therapists. One of them ghosted me, the other one told me that everything was my fault, and I simply had to realize the fact that I had to change and that I was living my life in the wrong way. um, the most recent one, she was actually supporting me really well. Um, she was helping me. She actually helped me to realize a lot of aspects in my life. But, not everything always works in the optimal way. I ended up losing my job. And without insurance, it was like almost $300 per visit for that therapist. So it becomes something basically impossible, unsustainable. Currently I'm looking for jobs and everything. I'm not gonna bore you with that unless you guys ask directly. Um, so the reason why I want to start this, number one, by having again a little bit of a presentation, especially because of the game that I chose to start with. Number one, I love Minecraft. Minecraft, it's an extremely, I will say, simple, yet not necessarily easy game. That everybody has heard of it, everybody understands at least the basic concepts of it, and we all at least understand the point of, okay, we gotta survive, right? And that is one of my points with it. Our life, we have to survive. We have to find ways to do it. Which, in this case, I just started this little survival mode in Minecraft. And that is precisely what we're going to be doing. I'm going to make this, my segments, my podcasts, my episodes, my videos, whatever you want to call it, I'm gonna try to make them in a way that it's gonna be pretty much like an informal talk. I wanna give you guys a safe space for you to be able to talk, for you to be able to actually interact and feel happy, feel at ease, even if you don't feel good at the beginning. And I wanna give you pretty much that friendly space that I know by own experience that not everybody has, and we can talk about anything in reality. I make it sound a little bit pretty much like therapy or something like that at the beginning, but in reality, I'm gonna be telling you stories about my life. I'm gonna be telling you different things that I have gone through. Thankfully, I have been through many different, um, I guess, scenarios during my entire life because I moved to different countries. I am living in a culture that is not mine. I married a woman that it's not of my culture. She doesn't even speak much of my language yet. When I met her, she didn't speak any at all. Right now, she's learning. She's in the process of, which I'm really thankful for because I, in the end, speak English. So it's something that comes from her heart to learn. Um, so that's pretty much how we're gonna be starting. I'm gonna be telling you stories about everything that I have been able to see, to understand, since I have been living in a different country, in a different culture. We're gonna have some episodes in which my wife is gonna be joining us. Um, she is a very sweet woman. She's a goofball, just like me. And we're gonna be trying to make, like I said, a safe space. You want to talk about something, you want to talk about, I don't know, different problems that you have. Like, for example, you have issues right now with your family, you have issues searching for a job, just like me right now. I actually just got hired for a new job, but as excited as I was when they offered me the job, they also had to add the little salvation of, hey, um, we want you, the job, you got the wage and everything, it's amazing, but you cannot start until February. So I have to find ways in which to survive, grow, and everything because it's never easy or good. At least not when it's not what you were planning, right? So, uh, in that same aspect, if anything is tormenting you, if anything is worrying you, it's making you freak out, tell us about it. We can talk about it. I have a little bit of experience in a little bit of everything. I'm not gonna make myself sound like a huge wise man that knows everything, but I have been in so many difficulties through my entire life that who knows, maybe I know the way to help you with your problem, or maybe not. If I don't, I'm gonna ask around. I'm gonna research. We're gonna be checking around. And we're gonna find a way to help each other. That is the point of the Wolfpack. We're gonna be supporting each other. We're gonna be giving ourselves that help that we need. So anything I can help you with, I will help you. If I don't know it, well, I'm gonna research. I'm gonna figure it out. If I cannot research it, I'm gonna be asking around. And it can be absolutely anything. You want to talk about, I don't know, your weight, your height. You want to talk about how those dreams that you always had during your entire life, you feel that they are not working. You feel that you're stagnant. I don't know how to say that. I apologize for my broken English. At any point of your life, because everybody expects something from you, because everybody is hoping for you to be something that you're not, something that you don't want to be, whatever the case is. Don't be afraid of asking. I'll be listening to you. I'll be hearing absolutely anything you have to say. And you know what? Most of the time, we actually need that safe space. We need that somebody to be there for us. Somebody that will simply let us lean on their shoulder and say, I hear you. We don't even need to have an actual full response or a solution for all our trouble. It's not even that hard, not even that complicated. We just need somebody that is there for us. Just like I was telling to one of my friends, that was actually a few months ago, you need a sounding board. You need, well, support, moral support. Talk to me. We're gonna be checking on what to do. And at the same time, because this is gonna be a safe space, because this is gonna be something that we are gonna be able to actually enjoy. This is actually something I want to remark very, very strongly. I am a fool. So don't be afraid of saying stupid things. You want to know why? Because I love stupid things. I'm personally an idiot. And I think that life is actually easier to live that way because I'm giving myself a little bit of space to actually say, like, okay, I screwed up. Like, that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna be giving my best, but it means that I'm also willing to understand when I screwed up. Okay? So, whenever you wanna talk, send me a message in my Twitter. You can send me a DM. You can just tweet and mention me. Um, I'm gonna be posting all the links and everything here. Also making like more formal episodes for the podcast. I have it on Apple Podcast. I have it on Spotify. I have it on, I believe it's in Amazon. I need to make sure because I'm still learning how everything works. And I'm gonna be finding ways to reach you. And that is precisely the reason why I decided to start with all this. Meaning the game, the whole video setting and everything. Maybe even someday I will end up doing a face reveal and stuff like that. Right now, I'm a little bit shy on that aspect. I have never done it. I am a person that it's kind of, what would be the right word? Shy about myself. Like, I don't consider myself handsome or anything like that. So, you guys will see. Time will show you more about me. So, I'm gonna be talking a little bit more about myself for you guys to know me. Like I mentioned, it's not, well, you can imagine, it's not my real name, it's my persona. I'm Silver. I am from Guatemala. I came to the US formally approximately 6 years ago. I am 30 years old. I am in the medical field. I'm a medical assistant. So, I know that some of the people in the podcast, they are not from the US, so they are starting to learn about how everything works in here. And to make it a little bit easier to understand on that aspect, guys, I'm pretty much a nurse. If any nurse is listening to me right now, probably you guys are gonna cuss at me really, really bad because I know you guys get offended at us saying that. But I'm not gonna get into debates with that. I'm just trying to explain it with terms and everything that it's gonna make sense in the way that we do it down in Central America, Latin America for that matter. I am basically a nurse in a clinical site. Meaning that instead of working in a hospital like normal nurses, like RNs, um, MAs, medical assistants, or CMAs, because I'm a certified medical assistant. I actually have a national certification. I can work as a medical assistant in every state of the U.S. If you guys don't have a certification like mine, you need to certify in every state. Um, well, I don't know. I do testings, EKGs, draw blood, give shots, whatever you can imagine a nurse does in the basic matter of. What else? I am a very goofy person. I love making people laugh. I love being an idiot, pretty much. I love people to have the chance to release some stress and everything when they are with me, because I know that life is not necessarily good. The way that I mean that it's not good, it's because it gets hard, you know? And I know that things are gonna be hard for you guys, for me, for absolutely anybody in this world. It's gonna be extremely hard. And it probably will forever be this way, for the simple reason that we're humans. We're learning, we're growing, we're moving. One thing that I wanna also try to help and address and everything, uh, here in the and as much in the videos as much as in the podcast, it's different ways to adapt ourselves to new cultures and everything, because I also lived that shock of culture when I first moved here, when I first married my wife, because everything is different. And it's honestly very complicated if there's not nobody to tell you, like, okay, this and this is how you're supposed to do it. Like, it's really complicated. And there's a lot of things that people from the US most of the time think that it's normal, and it might be for them but not for us. Like, talking about Latin Americans, again, I was born and raised in Guatemala, so I actually have that entire culture and everything. um oh gosh, great, there's an Enderman. Anyhow, um there is gonna be segments in which we're gonna be having guests and everything. I'm gonna try to have some people that I really trust, that I really care for, and you guys are gonna be learning with us. We're gonna be fooling around. I'm gonna be telling stories, telling jokes, telling everything. I love watching anime movies. I love music. I speak English, Spanish, and some Portuguese. So I'm gonna be making a little bit of a mix of absolutely everything. E incluso si ustedes llegan a tener algún tipo de curiosidad, algún problema, me quieren preguntar algo, si ustedes no se sienten cómodos hablándolo directamente en español, me lo pueden decir en inglés, o me lo pueden preguntar en español. Estoy para servirles. Si no conozco la respuesta, poco a poco vamos a investigar para poderlo saber, ¿ok? Entonces no hay problema, no tengan miedo, siempre pueden hablarme. I'm gonna be making those type of switches and everything. I'm gonna be trying to make everybody feel accepted. Again, I want this to be a safe space. So, well, I don't know what else to say as for the introduction, because again, this is pretty much the first thing that we're gonna be doing. I'm gonna be leaving the links for my Twitter, for the podcast and Spotify. Um, so yeah, just let me know what you want to talk about. Write in the comments if you have anything you want us to talk about. If you have questions about me, go ahead. If you have questions about my culture, go ahead. Questions about the language, go ahead. Questions about the process of how I came to the US to try to understand, like, have examples about how to look for a job, when you come from another culture or something like that, go ahead and ask. Don't be afraid. There's no taboo topics for me. I'm gonna be happy to help you in absolutely everything that I can. And remember, guys, I'm gonna be completely blunt with this, and I prefer it that way. I'm a very blunt person. I'm in the medical field. I have spoken and thought, because I also educate, it's part of what the medical assistant does. So many people about so many different topics, so don't be afraid. After so long working, I have been in cardiology, urgent care, family medicine. Guys, you're not gonna be able to catch me off the ground. You are really, really rarely gonna tell me something I really don't expect. And even if you do, I can handle it. So let's work this together. Let's become this Wolfpack. And just in the exact same way that I love finishing my podcast, because I love this phrase, guys, if you need me, howl for me, and I'll be hearing you. So don't be afraid.